You notice I'm doing a little stippling here?
Oh, I like that, man.
No, just plain water.
No, white green.
What's in the brush?
White titanium.
I haven't had that. But it's like one big
Well, this brush I use
Great.
to do that effect. If I push this back, the brush is going to flick ink on it.
You must overcome it.
Make sure you do the right
That's like a bristle brush you got there, right?
Yes. Always use bristles. Never watercolor brushes.
How about a toothbrush?
Toothbrush is fine.
Yeah, that's
I
what
just
you,
don't have one
and
in
you go with your
my
hand.
box. I normally have one.
Save all your brushes that you use for acrylics that are worn down to nubs because they're great for all that texture and stuff.
Yeah, it's nothing like an
Not
old
good for
brush.
painting, but they're good for all
And
that.
an old guy. Old guy? Who said that?
The young guy in the back.
Ro, is there one way that, I'm not a portrait artist, obviously, but that one way you start a portrait all the time, and you do it the same way all the time?
Placement,
Yeah, okay, with the
Placement.
cross and
you know, you get your top, you get your bottom, you get your two sides. Once you get it on there, then you figure out whether the person's looking down, whether you're looking up at them. And if you're looking up at them, so you know what the difference would be, was all of your arcs are going to be this way. The nose, the eyes, and the mouth. And if you're looking straight at them, then you have a straight-on view. And if you're looking down, it's the reverse. That's all it is. Keeping it simple is the biggest thing.
What are you doing now?
It's just molding, remolding, molding, remolding. He's got to get up.
Are you adjusting your colors too while you're
Yeah.
doing, you know?
Oh yeah, back and forth. I'm cooling down my shadows, warming up my,
Don't let him leave. He's
Don't
going
back
after a cigarette.
Kept layering more and more colors till it got closer to my look of, you know, the deeper, more intense colors. And then the palette knife is my attempt to just jump away from thinking. Hooker's green is the best base green that you can get, I think.
What do you use it? Is it a dark? Is it Hooker's green dark?
Hooker's
or?
green is very dark, yeah.
No, I mean the name of it. Is it Hooker's green dark? Because they
No, just
now they have
Hooker's,
so many.
just Hooker's green, and it's
But each brand is different. The names are the same.
it looks
Right enough.
almost black.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's good then. That's a
Yeah,
good dark.
but it's a really dark. It's almost like a pine, like a forest pine. That real dark green.
That's a good green.
Yeah.
And you can lighten it up with white or yellow.
Anything.
White would make it pasty, but yellow would do.
Yeah, white. Yeah, let me see. White.
White would probably paste it right
White makes it kind of like that.
Mint.
That new
Looks like mint.
Martha Stewart Christmas green color.
Ugly. Yeah. Not good.
Then if you mix it with everything else, then you get something a little better. But
That's
a nice green, you're doing that.
yeah, that's now a mix of the white and the hookers and the that emerald.
That's
Wow.
not bad.
Nice
That's
color.
That's nice.
Nice shade.
All right, you got to remember, people, when they're looking at a painting, they're looking at the painting. They're not asking you how you did it. You know, people get too hung up on what they used or whatever. People want to look at the painting. They want to see the finished product. Unless you're in one of these art shows that doesn't like ink or one doesn't like white, and I don't know those art shows. There's one out in Southampton this week where it's the Watercolor Society, no gouache. There's too many rules. People break rules so often today, my motto is, as long as it makes the painting better, I don't care about rules. You know, I really don't. The only rules I really have to follow are the perspective rules in a realistic painting. Because if you don't, it's an abstract.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only rules I really use. But anything else, if I think it's going to make the painting better, it doesn't bother me, I'll use it. Believe me, you know, you don't tell anybody. They're so amazed that people can do this. People when go to art shows, they're so amazed that we can do what we do. Because they could never do that. They would never even think of that. They're good at other things. But that's what makes art so special, is because we could tell a story by doing it in our heads, and people can just look at it. They don't have to read a book. There's a visceral, emotional attachment to something that people like, and I think that's such a great thing about art, about looking at a painting and feeling the emotion that's in it, and it's so, people have so many different ideas about what art is or whatever, but you know, that's good too, you know.
If I have a class, or you have a class, and I want to do a drawing, okay, for those portraits, and you start going like this, the glass in here is going to be slippery, it's not going to take, and so you need to have a grain. Like when you do pastels, that you have the grain in there. So this is a regular glass. From the glass company you go and they give you pieces. If you say that you are a teacher, they give it for you to free. And in this glass, okay, the way that we do it, we take two pieces of glasses, the same size or larger, okay, and we put a little bit of, forget about the image, we put a little bit of carborundum, or you can put sand, but very, very fine, maybe mesh 200, and you start grinding. Like when you do lithography with a leveler or two together, you put a little water and you go, the sound is horrible. You know, the sound. But after doing and doing and doing, you get this type of glass. And in this glass, you can start using charcoal, using pencils, and you start going in here and doing your lines, whatever you want to do, and the effects at the end is going to be like a drawing, like a lithography or like a drawing. And this one, I start doing it, and it's very simple because you can start, like, you know, like when you do the portrait, you can start removing whatever you wanted, or I can start erase it, or I'll start all over by just washing it with. But right here, the light is, again, the UV light is going to come through, and this part is what is going to get the ink. So holy macaroni, I said. So we go very slow. This is the absolutely part of any type of printmaking when you go, wow, oh, woo, this is the most beautiful part because because okay. But notice but this is. Notice that I'm dropping it. Notice the density, okay, of the ink.
Right.
I didn't clean this area. I left the tone that you said.